Okay, let's look at a case statement. Case statement is like an if statement with multiple choices. What we can do is we can set up a variable, let's say response, dim response as char. We're going to make a character. And currently I'm going to initialize this to an empty character, and a prompt for the character, console.writeLine, enter A, B, or C, and then response is assigned the value of console.readLine. So we read in the response. I've got the 0 there. Read in the response, and then what we can do is we can say select case. Okay, select case response. That's our variable, and then we end our select statement here, and we say case equals A. So if it equals A, we're going to say console.writeLine, you entered A, and if the case equals B, I use the double quotes as a character, console.writeLine, let's just be brief here, B, and if the case equals C, case equals C, console.writeLine, you entered C. Now what we can also do is we can do case else. So just like with the if statement, this is anything else, and we can say console.writeLine, you did not make the correct selection. Okay, and last but not least, after our case statement, we're going to go in there and we'll put console.readLine just to hold it so that we can see the output. And let's read this. Let's try this. A, B, or C. So I input B, and it tells me I inputted B. Let's try C. So it recognizes that I selected C and output C, and I input A, you entered A, and then I'll input another character, Q in this case, and you did not make the correct selection. So that's a very simple case statement. What are case statements useful for? Case statements are very useful in console programs for giving menus. So what I could do in this case is I could combine this with the information we learned about a subroutine. So I'm going to create a subroutine for A, B, and C. So sub A. So now I've got a subroutine, and I can do some things here. So what I could do, console.writeLine in sub A, I can manage a number of operations. We see up here what I can do. Rather than writing message here, if I selected A, then I could go to the subroutine A. That's my subroutine. And now when I select it, I run this, I select A, that's my subroutine. In a sub, I can manage a number of operations. That's my mistakes in there. What I can also do is if I wrap this whole thing and I do loop while response not equal to C, I take all of this entire case statement here, and I cut the case statement, pop it inside here, do all of that. Now I need to I also need to prompt and read the response, otherwise it won't change and I'll be in an infinite loop. So I'll pop that in there too. So I'm going to read it in each time. So now what I can do is I'll keep looping. Here's my menu. So I select A, and now it's prompting me. So I've run A, but now it's prompting me again, so I can select B, and it's said B and it's prompting me again. I can select X, and you did not make the correct selection, but when I select C, it should terminate the program. C, and it terminates, because it looped while the response was not equal to C, but once it was equal to C. So what you do for a menu here is you would have one of the answers be, do you want to quit? You have a menu, do you wish to quit? And if the type Q to quit, and if the case is that the response equals Q, then you quit. Otherwise, you can keep repeating your complex program and calling a number of subroutines. That's how a case statement is used. Okay, thank you.